Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we have Datte by Yuyoyuppe. There are so many vowels in that. That was my third take trying to get that name right in one single go, so I'm glad I finally did it. Also, this one was requested by some Poppy in the executive producer queue of Patreon, and of course, that means I have to get to it. It is a guarantee. And I have heard some stuff from Yuyoyuppe before, but I also don't really know what to expect out of them yet. I've only heard like one or two of their songs, so I really don't know where this could be going, but I won't know if I don't start. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so similar to the stuff I have heard. Oh, never mind. Wait a minute. That went way harder than I thought. Way faster than I thought it would have. And it backs off. It's just giving you a taste, you know? It's like, hey, don't fall asleep. Oh God, the distortion in there. Crunchy. I like this kind of pseudo trap beat behind it. Again, very crunchy mix, but the drums are crisp. Really good kick pattern there too, really fun. And probably a pain in the ass to learn for me. I was thinking if that was accurate. Pretty sure it was. I think it's interesting that the trap drums behind it, they're like more texture than they are tone. Wasn't ready for that like slight blast beat in there. Had to stop talking for a second. This is headbangable. Throwing the offbeat there. Nice change up out of nowhere. I actually really like that. Also, Baby Metal cover when. As of course I've mentioned, for those who haven't seen like my palette reaction, I have heard some stuff from Yuyo before, as well as a lot of stuff he's made for Baby Metal. I've always loved Baby Metal, and I learned in palette, I think, that that's something he's always done, and I just never knew till that very moment, and is where that little dig I made at the end came from. I just love his work, but also despite knowing what he does for groups like Baby Metal, I don't necessarily qualify that as knowing his sound, you know what I mean? Like there's always different approaches that every artist will take for different projects. So I never want to say like, oh, it's Yuyoyuppe, it's going to be the exact same thing, because you never really truly know. Even songs like this, where I was like expecting it to be a little bit faster and was actually thrown off by the fact that it was so methodic and slow. It actually reminded me a lot of From Dusk Till Dawn or Monochrome, songs that he's made for Baby Metal, those slower vibes that he has, that more tempered pace. And I really do like that sound, because when you're so used to hearing something from a composer that's really fast, you're just kind of like, oh shit, they know how to take their time. And it's always a nice little refresher. I didn't know entirely what to expect out of this one, if it was going to be fast or slow, but clearly it was the more slow approach, and I will definitely take that. Some of my favorite songs that he's done for Baby Metal are ones like I just said, the ones that are a little bit slower, and while I do love their fast ones, there's just something he does so well about pacing himself that makes me really appreciate songs like this that blend those things together, and also doing little interesting musical things like taking that trap drum approach in here, but also again just crushing the hell out of it and making it sound more like a texture than it was tone. Like, I really couldn't hear notes in there as much as I would out of a usual 808 that somebody would throw into a mix and do the whole trap approach on the drums. This made it sound like it was more of somebody like tapping on a desk than it was actual notes from a kit. So I actually kind of like that, just changing it up a little bit, taking the sound design in a different direction and reassessing what that means for the song and making it just a little bit more unique than it could have been. Those are the little decisions that Yuyo has always done, and especially in his Baby Metal stuff, that I've always been like, yo, he did that a lot in Anemone as well, the song he did with Toa. So it's like, man, it's just amazing the flexibility he has and the thought process he's got between these different ideas, and just that creativity at its core is really why I always love his work whenever I hear it. And even though I never know fully what to expect as far as the approach, I always know I'm going to get something good. And I always like mentioning the use of a synthetic vocalist when I hear it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely a synthetic vocalist. I didn't know that going into this one, albeit you can kind of assume because Yuyo isn't a girl, so it's like, okay, he's either using a real vocalist or a synthetic, and people like me, and I'm sure many of you, can probably tell when it's a synthetic vocalist. But he did a really good job at making Natsuki Karen's voice work really well on this song. He added the grit where it needed to be. He didn't overdo it or crank it in any way, but he was still able to extrude that emotion from it, which to me is the mark of a master when it comes to vocal synthetics. Someone who's able to pull all of that out and put in the work to make it feel real is an absolute genius, in my opinion, when it comes to that sort of thing. Mostly because I don't know exactly how vocal synthetics work or how really they're set up in that way. I've only ever seen them on screens and people setting them up in front of me, but I've never like actually done it myself. So as far as like all of the intricacies of that process, I don't really have a clue. So that's why I respect it from a safe distance, because I don't really need to use it. I don't really have any plans to use it, at least not anytime soon. But at the same time, it's still really interesting to me that people just put in that work to make it happen and do such a good job at making these emotional calls. But it's hard enough to get a good performance out of a person, let alone a synthetic one. And even though, sure, you've got full flexibility to do whatever you need with that synthetic vocalist, it still is like its own skill set in order to figure out exactly how to get certain sounds and tones. So I just have a respect for that as a whole in general. But I think I've yapped enough on this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any other songs you want me to get to, drop them down in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to them. Or if you want to get a guaranteed one, much like some Poppy did for this song, there are tiers on my Patreon and my YouTube memberships that allow you to force me to listen to a song. It is a guaranteed request and I cannot say no, no matter what it is. But otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!